Yesterday, I was supposed to drive about 18 miles for a job interview. And in the morning, so this is supposed to be at 10 a.m., around 7 o'clock, I'm up and I get a text message that says, can you come in today instead at 1 p.m.? And a few minutes later, before I even get to see the first message, the same number. We meant, can you come in 10 a.m. but tomorrow instead of today because we have so many people coming in for interviews. And I thought to myself, I don't really feel like driving that far for any of these places, but I especially don't feel like driving that far for somewhere where I kind of get the sense that they're probably over flooded with applicants, right? Just have so many people applying, so it lowers your chance of even being selected. So I said, I'm not even going to bother with it. I was called by them this morning about, we want to make sure you have the number, and I said, yeah, I have the place, whatever to get there. And then I decided to go to another interview, which was also it's like 13 miles in the opposite direction of that one. So it would be like if you were to go from one to the other, a 30-mile drive to and back. But I said, you know what, I'm not doing this. And then they called me later today as I was heading in to be interviewed by the other place and kind of like pleaded their case. We have other days of availability as well, Friday and next week. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And I picked a random day where that wouldn't like conflict with anything else. But I said, my current job, the one that is just like totally drained me of hours, right? The one that's gone to crap. When I first started working there, I had to face a real adjustment of the distance. This place was 30 miles away from my home at the time. And this meant that I would have to leave significantly earlier than when a shift would start. And I always remember that on my first day of working there, I actually left an hour early and ended up being late because of traffic. I wasn't late by that much, probably like 20 minutes, but I was shocked because I said I've never, in most instances, I would leave an hour early for anything just to make sure I was there on time. And that was the first time I'd been late to a job ever. So I decided that I would always leave 2 hours early to ensure there was no chance of me being late again. And sure enough, over the course of my year of being there, that was never an issue. I either would, if I came, I was either on time, and if I didn't come, I just wouldn't show up altogether. I was always there when the clock said for you to be there. But I really got sick of, here's a shift that starts at 7 o'clock. Better leave at 4:30, just because more traffic. Here's a shift that starts at 12 in the afternoon. Better leave at 10 a.m. I got tired of it because it had become so routine for me to just leave multiple hours before I'm even supposed to start working that it was ingrained in me. I just was used to getting up and leaving way before the shift even started to make sure I was there on time because I would calculate that the drive could have factors, traffic could range from being one degree or another. And I've decided that from now on, if I seek out employment, this is not if I get hired somewhere. If I get hired somewhere and this happens again, I can't help it. But I'm going to prioritize having a job that is closer to me. One that is within 15 miles. Now, the one that I got hired by last week that I walked away from because I thought the hours were too crazy, that one was 12 miles away. And I, 30-minute drive probably would give or take with traffic. So I enjoyed being able to like leave an hour before the job and know I would get there on time. But with these other ones, which are 18 miles, 20 miles, again, even if they are closer than my current one, I just want to reduce it significantly because the way I look at it is like this. If I drive 30 miles every day to a job, that is roughly $3.90 to almost $5 just gone right there because of how much gas it is in one gallon. And if you're driving that to and back, that's like $8 gone. Some of these jobs, the ones that are in these downtown parts of my state, they have really bad parking, which is supposed to be incentivized for you to pay for parking. Um, and I kind of explain that by going, if you already have to drive so far to get over here, even if parking is only $5 or $10, it still is like, you're damn near down $20 just for showing up to work. So from now on, I'm prioritizing working somewhere that's closer to me than not. I've been very desperate in the past, very much just trying to work any old place, but it's going to be a new pattern where if I punch the address in somewhere and it's 20 miles away, 30 miles away, 40 miles away, I'm not doing it. That's why I stood up the place that tried to change the day that they were going to do the interview with me, because I said it's already a damn near 20-mile, an hour plus drive to get over there. I woke up or got up this early just to go to their trash, and this is the reward I get for doing that. Also, like I said, I had the other interview already scheduled for today, so I said, I'll go to the other one instead. At least they're not, pulling the plug on me at the last minute. So I'm just tired of driving so far for nothing.